My friends, success isn't a mystery, it's a mindset. Winning at life and work doesn't begin in the boardroom, on the field, or in the office. It begins deep within your heart. It begins with the quiet decision that says, I will not live as I am. I will become who I was meant to be. You see, we live in a world that teaches us to chase success, to run after titles, money, and applause. But true victory isn't about climbing the ladder. It's about building a foundation. It's about who you are when no one is watching, what you do when no one applauds, and how you respond when life says no. The secret to winning isn't luck, it's alignment. When your purpose, passion, and perseverance move in the same direction, you become unstoppable. You can lose a job, you can lose comfort. But if you never lose your why, you can always start again. Let me tell you something, life will test your strength, your patience, your faith, and your will. There will be days you feel unseen and unrewarded. But that's where the winners are made. Not in moments of recognition, but in seasons of resistance. Because the truth is, your work doesn't define your worth. Your character does. Winning at work isn't just about performance, it's about presence. It's showing up with integrity when others cut corners. It's giving your best even when no one says thank you. It's treating people with kindness when you have every reason not to. The world doesn't need more talented people. It needs more trustworthy ones. And in life, winning isn't about having more. It's about being more. Being more disciplined, more grateful, more courageous. You win when you stop comparing yourself to others and start competing with the person you were yesterday. Every great success story begins the same way, with someone who refused to quit when life got hard. They chose to believe when others doubted. They worked while others slept. They prayed when others panicked. They trusted the process even when the promise seemed far away. So, what's the secret to winning? It's simple but not easy. It's to keep your heart pure, your focus sharp, and your actions consistent. It's to understand that failure isn't final. It's formative. Every setback is a setup for a stronger comeback. When you fall, don't stay down. Rise. When you doubt, remind yourself of how far you've come. When you feel unqualified, remember that passion and persistence can take you where talent alone cannot. In the end, life doesn't reward the fastest or the strongest. It rewards the faithful, the ones who keep showing up, who keep learning, who keep believing that their time will come. So if you want to win at life and work, don't chase success. Chase significance. Live with purpose. Lead with humility. Love with sincerity. And when the world tells you it's impossible, smile, because you already know the secret winners aren't born. They're built. Now go and build the life and work you were created for. Not tomorrow, not someday. Now, ChatGPT said, purpose over position. 3 words that separate the ones who live with meaning from those who merely exist. Too many people spend their lives chasing a title, a paycheck, or a position that promises happiness, only to discover that even when they reach the top, they still feel empty inside. Because true fulfillment doesn't come from what you achieve. It comes from why you achieve it. We live in a world obsessed with labels. Manager, CEO, influencer, winner. But the truth is, none of these titles matter if you lose your purpose while wearing them. You can sit in the highest chair in the office and still feel lost. You can have followers across the world and still be searching for meaning in the mirror. The moment you define your worth by your position, you surrender your peace to the approval of others. Purpose is what keeps you grounded when life shakes everything around you. It's what makes you rise again after disappointment. It's what whispers, "Keep going," when every part of you wants to quit. Your position might change, your circumstances might fall apart, but your purpose, your reason for being, will hold you steady through every storm. The secret to winning at life and work is understanding that success without purpose is simply motion without direction. You can be busy all day long, working harder than anyone else, but if you're not walking in alignment with your purpose, you're just spinning in circles. True success isn't measured by how much you do, but by how much of what you do matters. Purpose over position means showing up with integrity no matter your role. You might be the intern today and the leader tomorrow, but who you are in the process matters more than the title you eventually carry. It means sweeping floors with the same pride someone else takes in running a company, because purpose gives value to every task, no matter how small. People who live with purpose don't wait for perfect opportunities. They make ordinary moments meaningful. They don't say, "I'll give my best when I get promoted." They say, "I'll give my best now because excellence is who I am." That's the mindset that separates those who simply work for a living from those who live for a calling. Let me tell you this, your purpose is not something you find in a job description. It's something you carry within. Your position might let you make a living, but your purpose helps you make a difference. And when you live for something greater than yourself, even the smallest act becomes significant. Think about it. The world remembers not those who held high positions, but those who had high purpose. It's not about being the most powerful. It's about being the most impactful. The greatest leaders in history weren't driven by ego. They were driven by mission. They didn't need applause because they knew why they were there. When you choose purpose over position, you start to see your work differently. Every task becomes a chance to grow. Every challenge becomes a teacher, and every obstacle becomes an opportunity. You stop competing with others and start cooperating with destiny. You realize that your journey is not a race. It's a revelation of who you're becoming. And yes, there will be times when walking in purpose feels lonely, when others climb faster because they take shortcuts, when you watch people succeed by compromising their values. It can be tempting to follow their path, but purpose will always remind you that your pace is not your problem. Your direction is. Stay true to your path, even when it's slower, because what's built on integrity lasts longer. Purpose gives power to your pain. When life throws difficulties your way, purpose transforms them into fuel. Every disappointment becomes redirection. Every delay becomes preparation. The waiting season isn't wasted. It's where purpose grows deeper roots. The position might not come when you want it, but if you stay faithful where you are, it will find you when you're ready. Too often we chase what looks like success instead of pursuing what feels like fulfillment. But if you build your life around position, you'll always be searching for more. If you build it around purpose, you'll always have enough. The paycheck may come and go, the applause may fade, but the satisfaction of knowing you lived with meaning will never leave you. So, ask yourself, why do I do what I do? If the answer is just for the title or for the money, you'll eventually burn out. But if it's because you want to make a difference, to serve, to grow, or to leave a mark of kindness on this world, then you've already won. Winning in life and work doesn't mean being at the top. It means being at peace with who you are and what you're doing. It means waking up each morning with gratitude and going to bed each night knowing you gave your best. It means knowing that even if nobody noticed your effort, you still did something that mattered. The truth is, your purpose can't be taken from you, but your position can. Titles change, companies fall, circumstances shift, but the person you become through purpose endures forever. That's why the most powerful people in the world aren't those who have the biggest offices, but those who have the clearest sense of why they do what they do. So wherever you are, whether you're leading a team, serving customers, studying in school, or working behind the scenes, remember that your role is temporary, but your reason is eternal. Give your best, stay humble, and let purpose be the compass that guides every choice you make. Don't live to impress others. Live to impact others. Don't work just to make a living, work to make a life. Because when you choose purpose over position, you'll discover something powerful. You no longer chase success, it starts chasing you. And one day, when you look back, you'll realize that the victories that mattered most weren't the promotions, the awards, or the titles. They were the moments when you chose meaning over comfort, truth over popularity, and purpose over position. That's the secret to a life well lived. That's how you win. At work, at home, and in your soul. True winning begins within. It does not start with applause, awards, or achievements. It begins with the quiet choices that no one sees, the battles you fight in silence, and the mindset you build when life gives you no shortcuts. Before anyone ever wins outwardly, they must first win inwardly. The victories that matter most are the ones that happen in the heart. The greatest obstacle to success is not the world around you. It is the voice within you. That small whisper that says, you can't. That doubt that says, you're not enough. Every person who has ever achieved greatness had to silence that voice and replace it with faith, courage, and resilience. True winning is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to move forward despite it. It's choosing to believe in your worth when no one else does. You can have talent, education, and opportunity, but without inner strength, all of it can fade. Because what sustains you in the long race of life is not what you have. It's who you are. A person with inner discipline, conviction, and integrity can outlast someone who has every external advantage. That's why true success begins where character begins. When your inner life is strong, your outer world aligns with it. Winning within means mastering your thoughts, emotions, and reactions. Life will not always be kind. People will not always be fair. There will be moments when you're overlooked, underestimated, or betrayed. But in those moments, your real test begins, not to prove your worth to others, but to prove your strength to yourself. The world may try to define you by your failures, but your inner winner knows that every loss carries a lesson, and every setback hides a seed of comeback. You see, too many people spend their lives trying to impress others, chasing validation and approval. They measure success by comparison, how much they have compared to someone else. But that is not winning. That is slavery to insecurity. Real winning is not about standing above others. It's about standing tall within yourself. It's about knowing that you have given your best, regardless of the outcome. You win when you choose peace over anger, growth over comfort, and purpose over popularity. You win when you stay true to your values, even when it costs you something. Because success without integrity is failure in disguise. It might shine for a season, but it cannot last. The strongest structures are not built on appearance. They are built on foundation. The same is true for your life. To truly win, you must first conquer the battles within laziness, fear, pride, jealousy, and doubt. These invisible enemies destroy more dreams than failure ever could. The mind is your battlefield, and every thought is a soldier. either working for you or against you. Feed your faith, and your doubts will starve. But feed your doubts, and your faith will fade. You choose what wins inside you. The greatest champions are not those who have never fallen. They are those who refused to stay down. Life has a way of testing what's inside us. You will be tempted to quit when progress feels slow. You will face moments of uncertainty when you wonder if it's even worth it. But remember this, every time you push through the pain, every time you choose discipline over excuse, you're building something inside that no one can take from you. Strength. Winning within is not glamorous. It's quiet. It's the early mornings when you rise to work on your dreams. It's the late nights when you refuse to give up. It's the moments of prayer, reflection, and perseverance when no one is watching. That's where champions are made, in private. Because public victory is the echo of private discipline. You cannot control every outcome in life, but you can control your attitude toward it. You can't always choose what happens to you, but you can always choose what happens in you. And that's the secret. When you master what happens in you, you master what happens around you. The storms of life may rage, but the person who has peace within will never be shaken. So many people think winning is about luck or timing, but true winning has more to do with persistence than perfection. You may fail 9 times, but if you rise 10, you win. Every scar tells a story of someone who refused to quit. Every tear becomes a testimony of endurance. Every season of struggle shapes your spirit for something greater. Think of the seed buried underground. It's dark, lonely, and unseen. But deep within that soil, something powerful is happening. It's growing roots before it grows fruits. That's how your inner life works. You may feel hidden, forgotten, or overlooked. But that's just your root season. Don't despise it. You're developing the strength that will sustain your future success. True winning is not measured by applause, but by alignment. When who you are on the inside matches what you show on the outside. When your actions reflect your values. When your heart leads your hands. That's integrity, and integrity always wins in the end. Because no matter how long it takes, the truth always rises. Remember this, life doesn't reward the one who starts fastest. It rewards the one who finishes faithfully. You may not see the results yet, but keep going. You're planting seeds that will bloom in time. Every small act of consistency, every step of faith, every moment of self-control, it all counts. So if you want to win in life and work, don't start by changing your surroundings. Start by changing yourself. Work harder on your inner world than on your outer one. Let gratitude replace complaint. Let hope silence fear. Let purpose guide every decision. Because the day you conquer yourself, you have already won. In the end, real winning isn't about trophies, titles, or praise. It's about peace. The peace of knowing you lived with integrity, loved without fear, and gave your best even when no one noticed. That kind of victory cannot be taken away. It doesn't fade with time or depend on others' opinions. So guard your heart, strengthen your mind, and live from the inside out. Because when you win within, nothing outside of you can defeat you. That is the real secret to success. The kind that lasts not for a season, but for a lifetime. Faithful consistency builds champions. Not overnight, not in a single moment of glory, but through countless unseen days of commitment, discipline, and endurance. It's the quiet power that separates dreamers from doers and starters from finishers. In a world obsessed with instant results, faithful consistency is the greatest secret to lasting success, both in life and work. When you look at anyone who has achieved something great, you'll notice a pattern. They didn't get there? By luck. They got there by showing up again and again when no one else did. They weren't always the most talented, but they were the most faithful. They refused to quit when the excitement faded, when the progress was slow, and when no one was watching. They understood that consistency isn't glamorous, but it's powerful. Faithful consistency means doing what's right even when it's not easy. It's showing up to your responsibilities, your purpose, your calling, with the same dedication, whether you're celebrated or criticized. Anyone can be consistent when things are going well. The test comes when nothing seems to be working, when your effort goes unnoticed, when your dreams feel delayed, and when you start questioning if it's all worth it. That's when champions are built. Most people give up not because they lack talent, but because they lose patience. We live in an age of shortcuts, instant success stories, viral fame, overnight results. But what you don't see behind every great story is the process, the early mornings, the late nights, the rejections, and the quiet prayers whispered in the dark. True champions understand that every small, faithful step forward matters. Every act of discipline adds up. Every moment of perseverance is a brick in the foundation of greatness. Consistency is not about perfection. It's about progress. You will stumble. You will make mistakes. You will have days when you feel empty and unmotivated. But faithful consistency says, I'll keep going anyway. It's not the size of your steps that matters. It's the direction. Even slow progress is still progress. In life and work, many start strong, but few finish well. The difference isn't in their ability. It's in their endurance. The world remembers the finishers, not just the starters. And finishing requires faith, the kind that keeps believing when results are invisible. When you keep showing up despite the silence, you're proving that your motivation doesn't come from external rewards. It comes from internal conviction. You see, consistency has a compounding effect. Just as drops of water can shape a rock over time, daily effort can transform an ordinary life into something extraordinary. You don't need to take giant leaps every day. Small steps taken faithfully over time will take you farther than sporadic bursts of energy followed by long breaks of discouragement. The secret is to make faithfulness your habit. Do what you can with what you have where you are. Don't underestimate the power of showing up at work, in relationships, in your personal growth. Every time you keep going when you could have quit, you're building inner strength. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you're shaping your destiny. Faithful consistency also builds trust. When people know they can depend on you, opportunities find you. When you consistently deliver excellence, doors open naturally. Your reputation grows not from one great moment, but from many moments of quiet reliability. Employers value it, relationships depend on it, and success demands it. But let's be honest, being consistent is hard. There will be days when motivation vanishes and distractions multiply. You'll feel like your effort doesn't matter. That's when you need to remember why you started. Motivation gets you started, but commitment keeps you going. When you attach your work to a greater purpose, to something meaningful, consistency becomes easier. You're no longer working for applause. You're working out of purpose. When you keep doing the right thing, the right results eventually follow. It may not happen in your timing, but it will happen in its season. Just like a seed takes time to grow, your faithfulness will bear fruit if you don't give up. Many people plant the seed, but walk away before the harvest. Champions, however, water the seed even when the soil looks dry. They trust the process even when they can't see progress. Life is full of waiting seasons, and how you handle them reveals who you truly are. Anyone can be positive when everything is going well, but faithful consistency shines brightest in the dark, in times of delay, disappointment, or difficulty. When others complain, you keep working. When others quit, you stay focused. That's what separates the great from the good. Every act of consistency strengthens your character. It shapes your habits, and your habits shape your destiny. You cannot control everything in life, but you can control how you show up. You can control your effort, your attitude, and your response. The consistent person doesn't depend on emotions, they depend on discipline. They understand that consistency is not about how you feel, it's about what you decide. And here's the truth. You won't always see the results right away, but just because you can't see the outcome doesn't mean your effort is wasted. Growth often happens beneath the surface. The unseen days are the most important ones because they are building the strength you'll need when the breakthrough comes. If you want to win at life and work, be faithful in the little things. Excellence doesn't start in big moments. It starts in small details. If you're faithful in the small, you'll be trusted with the great. Be consistent in your kindness, in your effort, in your honesty, in your gratitude. The person who learns to stay steady when life shakes them is the one who wins in the end. So keep going. Keep showing up. Keep building even when no one notices. Because the world might not see every step you take, but your destiny does. You're not just working towards success. You're becoming the kind of person who can handle it. Faithful consistency builds champions because it creates something unbreakable inside you, a spirit that doesn't give up. And when life tests you, when the odds are against you, that spirit will carry you through. You don't need to be perfect to win. You just need to be persistent. Stay faithful. Stay focused. Keep moving forward one step at a time. Because one day, when the world finally sees what you've built, they'll call it success. But you'll know the truth. It was faithfulness all along.